Right, it's video 3 in the series. We were just as we were off camera there, we were saying where's the direction of the conversation going now, and we're still talking about market efficiencies and market inefficiencies. And one of the things that I want to make sure that is discussed when we talk about all this information and data, this symmetrical or asymmetrical knowledge about the markets themselves and if they're efficient, is that there are a plethora of variables that are external or to the market process itself, or what appear to be maybe external. There's these externalities that can be negative, externalities that can be positive, things that are outside of the general market that can impact the market and its efficiency. And you and I had some very, very quick comments that we shared on war, political upheaval, floods, famine, and whatever, drought, the issues that the acts of God or nature, a tsunami comes. These things can greatly all of a sudden take what looks like a rationally operating market and throw it into chaos.
And will take effect in the marketplace almost immediately because of the speed of the internet, communication is traveling within seconds. You can see, I used to like teaching this class during the day when the markets were actually open.
Yeah.
And you could literally see things that would happen take immediate effect when the prices of them stop.
Exactly.
Just
say 150 years ago, if your company here based in Pennsylvania, main customer was in Indonesia, and you were exporting tremendous millions of dollars worth of goods and services to Indonesia annually on whatever good or service it was. 150 years ago, if a tsunami came, and recently, within the last, was it 2005, 2006, that tsunami hit Indonesia and killed 250,000 people, wiped out the coastline. Now, 150 years ago, you wouldn't have any knowledge of that even happening for months because of the time and the time and distance of communication and travel and all kinds of information flows that would be constrained in bounded ideas of rational bounds that are limitations on our technology, etc. But now that's instantaneous and it impacts the market immediately. A shooting yesterday in Houston, Texas, probably made impact upon the market someplace. This or that can happen. Kim Jong-un, the dictator from North Korea, says he's not going to meet, and all of a sudden everyone panics.
Yes, and then the markets react.
Yeah, and so the perfect examples, both of those things, the shooting and Kim's statement, perfect examples of fear, panic, irrational thinking. Completely irrational.
If you're a long-term investor, it shouldn't affect you.
If you're a long-term investor, you say, so what?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me buy. And when the market tanked, you bought more.
Yep.
Because of arbitrage. You said, I'm going to take advantage of the market's tanked for irrational reasons. I'm buying more. If everyone's selling, you should be buying, right? Exactly. And if everyone's buying, you should be selling. And that's the type of thinking that you have if you're really, really grounded and you're rational and you're calm and you're not caught up in the emotional.
It comes back to the buy on the bad news, sell on the good news.
Right. So we can have these outside forces though that literally, when you read the proforma, the stock proforma, and you're going through it and you're saying, look, all the fundamentals look great. But because of these externalities, these negative externalities, or like they could be positive externalities, that can throw the whole market into a tizzy, and for irrational reasons. And because of those irrational reasons, you can beat the market. if you're smart.
Look at all because of the talk on trade and tariffs right now.
Yeah, it's tremendous. Yeah, exactly.
People are being negative, but there could be some positive things out of it, and
Very
nothing's been
positive
really
things.
done yet.
No, yeah, it's all talk.
But
and,
it's all
talk, but
yeah.
it's up and down. So I mean, what I want students to understand is the fundamentals that you go through and say, well, if chapter 6 talked about all the quantitative fundamentals of making a pick and valuing the stock, but there are a tremendous amount of outside variables, things that may impact the market that we're not looking at, that are subtle and powerful, or only recognizable in hindsight that these things would happen. And so that we need to be aware that that these things can also impact market efficiencies or the expected market efficiencies, or allow us to beat the average or beat the norm, beat the mean. So we have to be thinking about all these things. They're geopolitical in nature. They can come at you with all kinds of different things that are part of the human experience that can impact us, that are happening worldwide now that we have a global economy and we're so well connected, as you know very well. We're all tied together, and the impact is felt around the world. It's not just, we're not isolated like we were 150 years ago.
Yeah, and even more, we talked about news, but look at the advent of social media. That affects things even not immediately.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Something happens and someone gets upset, and so we're going to boycott this product. Huh. Who would have thought that in a million years? That this so-called sound and maybe unfairly done. I've seen some things out there that I'm wondering. Yeah, you're going to boycott what? Because of what? Really? Unbelievable that people get on their emotional high horse and make some things happen. And it's completely unexpected. So yeah, even social media, Twitter, people go to Twitter and it can impact, the expectations of the market. The market, the efficiency of the market can be challenged. Again, we have these things that our world is so dynamic, so changing, and there are a lot of these new forces that we still don't even understand completely, but they have incredible impact. So I'm trying to look at the clock here and figure out.
7:50.
7:50. Okay. Why would the market be efficient or inefficient? We've brought some ideas to the fore. Again, the last thing that I think that we need just to quickly touch upon for this film is I just want to make sure that we don't. The last thing, as far as market efficiency is concerned, there's this notion that was in the textbook a few paragraphs back. We talked about past performance indicating future performance, and that's nothing can be further from the truth. It may be an indicator. It's certainly something to take into account, but as the world is changing, and again with greater information, past performance may not indicate anything. And you and I quickly had a conversation about Blockbuster Video. Here's Blockbuster Video, and it looks like all the fundamentals are great, and the past performance is great, and Blockbuster Video is moving along, and something comes along. So here's an externality, another
like
externality.
Netflix.
Yeah, technology comes in, a new technique to deliver entertainment comes to fore. It's Netflix and smart TVs and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden, where is Blockbuster? So, and the past performance was wiped out in seconds. Literally, Blockbuster disappeared off the face of the earth, and it wasn't slow. It wasn't like Sears or Kmart, and a slow, steady death. No, this was overnight.
Right. Yeah, as broadband width and everything increased, you could stream the things without even picking up a cassette or video, because